Yes. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order on 2406, the Cermak Builders LLC petition. And the only item on the agenda is consideration of our case tonight for public hearing, which is the conditional use to allow an existing duplex to remain on the subject property. This matter was published in the Daily Herald on January 24, 2024. And we've circulated the petition, but have no comments from any of the authorities to whom we've circulated. I've got some exhibits, I presume, are these petitioner's exhibits?
Excuse me, sir.
Okay,
We can't hear.
well, come up here.
Pardon?
Why don't you come right up here?
No, go up there.
Sorry. I mean, you can sit right there if you have a hearing, do you have a hearing problem that's worse than mine?
I'll sit up here.
If it would facilitate your hearing, what's going on better, you can sit right up here,
Oh, sure.
whatever you like. Okay, I think I'm on exhibits and I've got a stack in front of me. I presume we will have a survey as petitioner's exhibit number 1, and it may be that the survey is combined survey site plan, is that right, Jeff? All right, so that will be survey site plan exhibit 1. Then I have some floor plans, which I'll take as exhibit 2. I don't know what the rest of this stuff is, so I'm not gonna try to guess about it. I'll wait for the petitioner to introduce the exhibits during the course of the petitioner's presentation. Are you guys the petitioner?
Yes.
Raise your hand and be sworn in if you would, please.
You do solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give at this cause and outward hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Would you identify yourselves, name and address, spell your name?
Charles McCann. Apologize, I go by CJ. Address, yes. McCann is McCann.
And your address?
341 Cumnor Avenue, CUMNOR, Glen Ellen, Illinois, 60137.
And who are you in relation to this case?
I am part owner of Cermak Builders, the entity that has title on the subject property.
So you're a title owner?
Yes.
And you, sir?
I am first name Mike, last name is Surina, Surina. And it's 800 Mark Twain Trail, Batavia, Illinois, 60510. And I am the second part of the ownership for Cermak Builders.
You're lucky to live on a street by the name of Mark Twain.
I know, right?
He's such a tremendous American.
And a really easy round number to remember. 800 Mark Twain.
All right, you're the other owner.
Yes, sir.
All right, which of you is presenting tonight?
I
You
will,
can both answer questions, but.
I'll present first.
Go right ahead.
Which I'll start with, I think we're calling this exhibit 3.
What is this?
It's,
This what I have here?
it's, yes.
What's the title? There's no title on this. So what is this document?
This is this is from the original construction of the subject property from Naperville Township.
So, is there a date on this? My copy is a little fuzzy. 7/13/82, I think it was something. Where do you see
That's
that?
the lowest date, right here below Belt City.
Oh, up here? Is that 62 or 82?
82. Is it?
I believe so.
All right, and so what do you call this document? Building description and validation is what appears to be the title, but that can't be it.
Yeah, and I don't recall what was on top of that. It was cut off on the copy.
I think that's 62, man.
62?
Yeah, I think it's 62. This is the original plat survey from the house back in 1962.
So
No,
this
it's built in
is-
1900.
This is,
Oh,
yeah,
1900?
okay, that makes sense. This could be the 1962 survey.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 62 or 82, where it says 713 is either a 6 or an 8 for the A2, kind of. Under Belt
maybe-
City?
No, it's not, I'm sorry, it's not a survey, it's some sort of a building department, document, it
I think
seems.
it's the assessor's information.
Mhm.
Well, whatever it is, it's the petitioner's
I think you're
exhibit.
right, Carl.
Basically, it's where Naperville says this is.
Are there values
flat.
on here?
There's not value, it shows the effective date or the build date is 1900. And under type and use, it's a 2-unit family dwelling as original build.
All right, I'm just gonna call it Exhibit 3, Building Data 1962. Because I don't know if it's generated by the assessor or the building department or what. But you may be right, Carl. Okay, what, do you have, what are we doing? Going through your exhibits?
Well, I mean, there, it clearly states that it was built as a 2-unit dwelling as original construction. It's always been that way. That's how it was built. It's, there's 2 meters for gas and electric. We provided all that data for.
What's all this stuff?
There's 2 ComEd bills in that.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. That's just data over the past 5 years to show that it's been paid.
however far back the utilities would let us go.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll take, all of this as Group Exhibit 3. And these are, printouts of various utility bills or a legend of utility.
A ledger of utilities is as far back as the utility companies would allow us to go back.
Right? So why do we care about that?
We were asked to show that they're 2-metered utilities. So it's just showing that was already in existence.
So there was a point in time that this, your point that you're trying to make is that there was a point in time this was a duplex building.
Since its origination.
Then why are you here?
At some point, I think the county got involved and made it go back to single family. So somewhere along the line, somebody purchased it. There was a violation on the property to bring it to a single family scenario. We purchased it as
So
a,
you discontinued the use as a duplex.
We didn't,
wait a minute.
Somebody discontinued.
Somebody did, somebody.
yeah, I don't know when in
Therefore,
history that
the
happened.
Non-conforming pre-existing use expired. I'm guessing at this, but it's not my case to guess about.
Yeah. Yeah, that, I mean, at some point zoning became, but there's, I think, overwhelming evidence it was built as a duplex. It's
So why is
always
that?
been a duplex.
But so what? I mean, the question is whether it should be a duplex in the future in accordance with the conditional use requirements.
I think there's another exhibit. And
Yeah, I
so this exhibit here shows when we purchased the property. It was purchased as a 2-flat. And it still
You guys,
stands as a 2-flat.
I understand the compelling wisdom of, well, it's been that way since 62. But when you have a non-conforming pre-existing use that expires, you need to make the case that you want it to be what it once was in the future, and you need to meet the conditional use standards. Are you prepared to do that other than, well, it just makes sense that it should?
I don't know who said it expired. That's the
Well,
question.
You just did.
We did not.
I asked you, is it the case that when you said somebody used it as a single-family house or whatever?
That's what we
I
were
said, does
told.
that mean
That's what we were told by the county with the violation.
you guys want to maybe continue this case until you get your act together so you can make a case? Because we're not going to just sort of.
We don't know why we're here. We purchased a 2-flat. Someone in the village sent a violation out saying it's a single-family use house. It's never been a single-family use house. So we're trying to figure out who at the village or county, whoever, deemed it to be a single-family home,
When it never has been.
when it never has been. So somewhere there's a clerical error that we're trying to figure out who made that error. And why are we here today dealing with this?
So you just came to the hearing to figure it out here?
That was what we were told to do.
I doubt that seriously.
What,
Okay,
are you, which residence are
Ma'am,
you talking
ma'am.
hold on, miss, because we have to have the court reporter take down everything that's said. All right, I'm not sure how to proceed, but I am interested in departing from our ordinary course here and asking, are you folks neighbors? And is it your intention to make any remarks or tell us anything in this hearing tonight?
Yes.
You want to make a statement about this case?
Yeah, all of us do.
You do,
guys-
okay, all right. Well, then-
Ronnie lives
Okay,
right
well,
next
here's
door.
how it works. All of you raise your hands and then be sworn in.
Okay.
Honda Hulk. Raise your hand and be sworn in, and then I'll take you one at a time, okay?
You do solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give at this cause and out hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Who'd like to go first? You
I'll
want to
say
go
something.
first?
Are you talking?
All right, here's what you have to do.
Okay,
You have to tell us your name, spell your name, give us your address, and tell us if you support the petition, tell us you support it. If you oppose it, tell us you oppose it, then explain why. Or if you just want to give us information, we'll take that. And you don't have to say, I support it or I oppose it. Okay? So start with your name and address.
my name is Ronnie McMillan. I live at 6S 3714 4th Street. If you're talking about the.
Spell your name,
Pardon?
spell your last name.
McMillion.
And do you support or oppose this petition?
Well, I don't know. I don't think there was any due process before.
So far, these guys don't know too much, you don't know much, and the seven of us, or the six of us are really struggling to learn what the heck is
Well,
going
I
on
do-
here.
But when you were speaking, that whole house was a single family home. It was never a duplex.
It was built as a duplex.
Okay,
Hey, Robert, how about we just get a
I just want to
continuous?
get her.
Oh, we get a
testimony.
continuous, and we'll bring our lawyer in.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
You want to, your testimony is that it was at some point, or perhaps at all times, a single family home. All right, and you know that by virtue of the fact that you're a neighbor or what?
Yeah, I knew the neighbors and, Bill and Jean Hatton were there. They had lived in that house for a long time. It was just, they lived by themselves in a single family home,
Okay. Now, do you two, are you done?
I guess.
I guess so too.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, I
This
don't.
is like zoning 101. I feel like I should be, have a,
Well,
It's a single family home with two
understand-
front doors, two back doors, two gas meters, two water meters,
Okay,
two
hold on,
furnaces.
hold on.
Come on,
Yeah, but it was a single family.
Sure.
home.
Okay, that's
For a
her
long time.
testimony.
it's not now.
Now, what do
You know
you
what?
guys have to say?
Did you rest your
Wait,
case? You can't
Eric.
just keep throwing
I just,
comments.
I'd like to ask for a continuance so we can leave.
You'll get it in a minute, but first I'm gonna take their testimony so they don't have to come back.
Okay.
Now, what do you folks have to say?
We lived in the house, I'm sorry, Robert and June Farrington, FARRINGPON.
Okay,
And we live at 1064 East Fourth Street.
how close is that to the front?
Directly across the street.
Okay, and what's your
Bonnie lives
testimony?
right beside that
What's,
one.
what's your testimony?
Okay, we oppose, turning it back into a duplex. We've lived in the house since 2002, bought our house new. When we moved in, Ronnie already lived there beside that house. When we moved in, there was one family in there at that time. They moved out. We didn't really know them. They moved out. And then the son of the owner of the truck lot, which is directly adjacent to us, moved in with his family and they occupied the entire house for many years. And then I understood that they were bankrupt, couldn't afford it. And so they eventually moved out and then eventually went up for sale.
And what kind of time frame are you talking about? What period of time are you talking about?
When we moved in 2002, Ronnie, do you remember when they moved out?
No, just. I don't want to confuse this record, so I'm asking for a general period of time.
5 years?
Maybe 5.
5 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
No,
And
well, no,
for-
they moved out and that because of the foreclosure, so I'm thinking that would be more like about 3 years that they moved out.
Okay, so it's relatively current. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
And that lasted for how long? Would you estimate?
They lived in the house. Well, in 2002, the family that was there, I think the lady with the gray hair, you know who I mean? I think she lived there for several years, 2 or 3 years. But then the son and the daughter and their family moved into that one house, as one house, and lived there while the kid was going to school. So I'm guessing around maybe 12 years or so. It's,
Okay, that's close enough.
Yeah.
It's your estimate.
And
Oh, sir, do you want to, why don't you just say I agree with my wife?
I agree with my wife
Okay.
and,
we wanted to add a little extra if we can.
What?
Can I add a little bit more? Or,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, it's not to do with how the house has been, but I feel like the neighborhood has changed. Yes, that house may have been built a certain way and used a certain way many, many years ago, like over 20 years ago before we moved in. But before we moved in, our home was an asparagus farm. So this whole neighborhood is completely different. They built 8 brand new houses and ours was one of them. So this is not the same neighborhood. So to say that it's okay to put it back the way it was, just because it's always been that way, the neighborhood's changed. So I don't think that the same rule should apply.
Okay. Good statement. And sir, do you want to add anything or do you just agree with your wife?
I agree with her.
Smart.
Excellent.
Could I say something, sir?
No,
You can't ask them.
I forgot to say this, but you're only supposed to speak once. I'll give you just an extra minute to add to your testimony, but then that's it.
Well, I know that when Bill and Jean were living there and then they moved out and they sold it, that the gas people were over there a lot worrying about the 2 gas meters that were there. And they said like one of them didn't work and there was a lot of stuff going on about that. I don't know.
Okay, that's good. All right, now, I would just want to say to the petitioner, we'll do anything you want. We'll ask our questions, but we're not going to ask questions to try to develop your case any more than I have already done. Or you can get a continuance and develop this, or you can continue this evening with additional testimony, because as I said, I took these remarks from the public in order to just edify everybody here about what's going on. If you want to proceed this evening, or you want to continue to a later date, at some point, you're going to have to make the case as to why this should be a duplex in the future, why you should be granted a conditional use for a duplex. So what do you want to do?
We'll ask for a continuance. Bring our attorney with next time.
Okay,
We've never had to try and rezone an existing duplex before, so I apologize for the lack of preparation.
that's fine.
And didn't mean to waste any time, but I'll just leave on the fact, we bought an existing property that was built in 1900 as a documented 2-unit dwelling with 2 front doors, 2 back doors, 2 meters, 2 furnaces. And
Demising walls.
yeah, and didn't realize what the zoning was, buy a lot of property. So we will ask for a continuance.
You bought it about April of 2023?
That sounds accurate, yeah. It was sometime
I'm
last
guessing
year.
from the survey.
It was sometime in 2023.
All right, you have a particular, you're gonna refer this to an attorney?
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
I have 2.
I don't care who you pick, but.
Yes,
all
people
right,
already know.
Well, I would have the attorney, consult with the staff to see if we can get this on track.
Okay.
But if you get a zoning lawyer, I'm sure they'll know to do that. All right, is there any objection if we continue this? And do we have a date, that you can give us?
Next open date is March 14th.
We have the 14th, March 21st, or March 28th.
You know what, I looked at our schedule, I'm trying to get out of town to visit my, rental property, and so I was gonna go in February, now the Thursdays are sort of screwed up, but I know I can phone in according to the new rules. But, the 14th might be, well, let me check my calendar. Does anybody have a preference here about the 14th or the 21st? Do you have a preference about March 14 or March 21?
I do not.
Okay, well, then let's make it March 21. March 21.
Is that an open date on the calendar?
We'll continue the matter till March 21, and the record will remain open until that point. The hearing for this evening is closed, but I have to now, since this is under the meeting, is under the Open Meetings Act, do I have to just clarify that there's no public comment that wants to be made? Right. This will all become clear when we get these rules. I'm gonna close the, no. Can I have a motion to close the hearing for this evening and continue to March, whatever I said, 21?
Motion to
6
March
o'clock in
21.
this room.
Second,
Motion by Mr. Moran, second by Mr. Schultz. Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Hearing's closed for this evening. Now to continue the meeting. I understand there's no public comment, so we'll adjourn the meeting. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Not the hearing.
move to adjourn the meeting.
Mr. Schultz makes a motion to adjourn the meeting, seconded by Mr. Moran. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, we're closed. Is that what I'm supposed to